My nursery rhymes. My nursery rhymes growing up was Nirvana because that's the music my brother would play.
For family members of those who are in prison, it's very tough to deal with situations like this. When things happen, then you start to question, have I done enough? What more can I do? From your own experience, like what gives you solace? What gives you peace?
Every day I have a set of prayers that I do for my family, for every single member of my family, both gone and still around. And my prayer, my dua for Ben had always been the longest. There's so much that I pray for him. And to be honest, that is the only thing that kept me having faith to whatever that was going on. For me, if you ask what gave me solace, it was that finding whatever little gratitude. Actually, I had a lot of things to be grateful for. Whatever gratitude I could find, and my prayers every day for him and for everything. So, can you imagine when I'm feeling like that, when I'm already beating myself up so much, and then somebody who's supposed to be a comrade sends accusations like that? I know my tone on my post was not docile, was not polite, but trust me, I censored myself as much as I could. But really, if anybody was able to react with a more calm way,
Composure, you mean?
yeah. I mean, hats off to you. But
Right.
I was not in that position.
Just to kind of like address the elephant in the room, there's been headlines happening today, especially with I think recently a particular actress reached out, probably attacked. I don't know if was it you or was it one of your sister about Benjy, and then it's definitely not the best way to kind of like remember somebody who has passed, right? Is there anything you want to state your mind on to kind of like...
There's a lot of notifications I have to ignore first and go through them later. But some notifications, if I see a particular a familiar name or like somebody I know who has been helping the family, then I would immediately open, or if the situation permits me. So similarly, ironically, when I saw Nourish Carmen is trying to send you a message, I opened thinking, Nourish, I was thinking we have worked together before. If hadn't, she is somebody known enough in the industry. So I thought, oh wow, Nourish reached out. To be honest, that was my reaction. That's why I opened the message. And when I opened, at first I only saw the first message, which was, how could you say you love your brother if he had to ask other people for help or something like that? I saw that. My immediate reaction was I laughed it off, and then I told my other half, I told my sister, I said, dah mula dah. My other half, my sister got angry. And then I said, no, man, doesn't matter. And then they said, no, expose her. I said, I'm doing work. I want to do work. I said, don't disturb me now. I said, no, you expose now. And then so I went back in and I wanted to take a screenshot of that. And then I saw this sambung tulis. She continued to, you want to attack me, whatever. I don't like confrontations. I'm not somebody who likes confrontation. There's a reels on my Instagram about confrontations, about me not liking confrontations. I avoid confrontations. But when she mentioned my sister and my mom, that's when I lost it, because my sister has gone through hell for my brother. Not just her, but we all have. Because memang at that time, I did not need to wear my fitness band to know how bad my heart rate was. I wanted to burst because I wanted to scream, you don't know anything. I didn't even care so much about me. I felt like I wanted to run to my sister's house and just hug her, because she's done so much and she didn't deserve something like that. And so that's why I wrote what I wrote, to not just to her, but to anyone who has had any doubts There's so many things wrong here. Number one, the timing is obviously wrong. Number two, the insensitivity of a family mourning. Number three, the fact that we're supposed to be in the same industry, we're supposed to be comrades, right? So the betrayal I feel from someone who's supposed to be a friend, and then the accusations. It's just a turmoil of everything. And so my point to my post was that you don't know anything and only God does.
If you want to talk, if people want to talk about, what has this person done, what has that person done, but like they don't know the reality of the relationship the two shared. So maybe you can share to our readers that reality. Even
though my mom denies it all the time, but we know Ben is her favorite child. He is of course her first child, but we know he is her favorite child. The number of photo albums that she has of him is way more than the photo albums for my sister and mine and the rest of the family combined. She taught him to cook from young. She used to say how she would cook and he would read the recipe book, and that's kind of like how he learned to read. We know that no matter what Ben did, whether lawfully wrong or in the family wrong per se, my mom will always forgive him immediately, because that's how much my mom loves him, So he's a golden child between him and my mom. And like I said, they cook a lot together. My mom cooks a lot with all of us, but mostly with my brother. And I would honestly say between the three of us, he is the best cook. On my interview with Awani, I talked about how he took care of me and my sister from when we were born. My nursery rhymes growing up was Nirvana, because that's the music my brother would play while cleaning the house and while playing rough housing with us or whatever. So we were tight. As siblings growing up, we were very close. I guess it was when we started growing up and we got more adult life, and he got married and had his own family, his own life somewhat. I guess that's when we were not as close anymore.
What is one trait that associates Ben closely to your mom?
Their talent to act and I would say their discipline and their professionalism when it comes to their career. My mom raised us that way. She raised us because we're all like this, right? So she taught us how to take our roles seriously. So how to do the homework for each character, how to prepare for each role, for each story, and I think among the three of us, Ben is the one who delves very deep into that. The backstory he would create for his characters is very deep. It's very deep and what's the word? Polished, and he would discuss it with his fellow director, or if he knows the writer, he would actually discuss it with the writer, and he would try to discuss it with the co-actors and that kind of thing. But that's how much passion, and that's what I was looking for. That's how much passion he has, whether it's for singing or acting or his love for the family. He's a very passionate person, like my mom.
At least fans of his, right? Would say that he is a top-notch actor, but our industry, unfortunately, and this doesn't go just within Malaysia, the whole globe, world itself, right? Because the industry put looks above everything else, right? So do you think he was shortchanged in that, and hence that's why it led him into where he was, and unfortunately up until the day he left us and we could not see more of his talent?
If I want to talk about the industry shortchanging us, shortchanging my brother, shortchanging us, there's no end to this Zoom interview. My mom has had been fighting for equality in the industry or rights in the industry from the beginning of her career until she had passed, and a lot of the things that she fought for are still the same way, still have not changed until now, until other people are fighting for it, until we are fighting for it. And it's not just about looks. I don't have a straight answer for whether Ben was short-handed by the industry or not, and whether was he short-handed by the industry or was he short-handed by whoever,
So you would go as far as saying that whatever, I guess, opportunities that did not happen to him had led to whatever experiences that he had to do.
The choices he made, you mean? It's not a straight line. It's not a clear-cut black and white that yes, this led to him making that choice. No. A lot of things have happened in Ben's life that have led him to make different choices here and there, that have led him to different circumstances, and eventually it led to that. But to be completely honest, I was born in this industry, and I know Ben's not the only one who has made that choice. A lot of his friends of that same era, or even right now, have made similar choices. But he partly gets more of the limelight, of the news, because of who he is, because his name is bigger, because my mom's name is bigger. There were many times that somebody hires him, say a director hires him, and really likes his work, and because wants to help him, right? Wants to help him turn over a new leaf or whatever. And then come a producer, or even when he was trying conventional work, come the owner of the company or the partner of the owner of the company will come and say, no, I will pull out my money if you continue to hire him, because we don't trust him. Yeah, it happened many times. So I really feel bad for him, that he was trying to turn over a new leaf, and there were people who were trying to help him, but there were also people who did not give him the time of day. When push came to shove, he was desperate. I knew that. But the thing that I nagged to him about was, people get desperate all the time, but we have to make our own choices. But because of that, I don't judge him for what he did. I just hope that he had chosen differently, which he did admit later on that he wished he had a time machine. But it's not just about the money. It's not just about the acting career. There were a lot of other things that happened in his life that he was born and he grew up very bitter, confused, bitter about life in general. The cracks that he did fall through were terribly deep. And the cracks that he fell through, it was hard for us to pull him back up.
My last question for the day, how would you like to remember Benjy?
As my brother, as Ben. One particular memory that keeps playing in my head is when I was going to perform in college. Everybody in the family was coming to watch. And I was playing. It was a two-man show. And it was a heavy role. And it was opening night. My brother texted me, and he couldn't come. I think he was shooting, or he had to take care of his son. I can't remember why he couldn't come to watch the show. But he texted. He said, I would wish you luck, but you don't need any. And the language is not very, but he said, I'd wish you luck, but you don't need it. As in, because you're a star, And I remember being so my brother's proud of me, that kind of feeling, He's the Ben that I would want to remember, that I said that that raised us when we were small, that played Nirvana as our nursery rhymes, that would always come to us every time we cried. But the thing is, whenever we cry, he doesn't console us. The first thing he do is crack a joke. Whenever anybody is down, the first thing he does is crack a joke. He's the joker of the family. The cookings that he did for us, the times when guys broke my heart and he would half joking, half serious, threaten to kill whoever broke my heart. That's my Ben.